everybody knows this, that a narcissist is just a very painfully immature person, and it means that they kind of are stuck at toddler mode, and that's a problem because, boy, do toddlers have all kinds of issues, right? They don't understand things deep enough, and their little minds are, you can just predict how they think because they're not hooked into their own energy yet, I guess. But they're feeling energy, right? And so again, I'm going to make another video. This is about how that, well, see, because it's that world of energy. They don't know how to give, right? That's just the common thing that you know about narcissists. They do not have the capability within them to give anything that they don't have, and so then now, having said this, do you think that the world of money kind of creates a buffer behind the real psychological issues that need to be hashed over, and just really, are we experiencing, what are we experiencing there? See, what gives us all of these things that says that it's necessary for us to have? See, money isn't really giving us anything that is actually healthy for us. In fact, if you start doing the opposite of what the suggestion is, that says that, to do this because it's liable to make you sick, and then now they're capitalizing on you getting sick. And it's ridiculous, right? A lot of money is doing that right now. I don't see one thing that good that money could possibly be doing, unless it starts feeding the lowest points that are having a hard time growing. Now, having said that, boy, was that vague as ever. What do you mean? What's growing here? Well, good question. What are we growing through that shit here? Is it the capacity to just remain like this and not really be involved with subject matter? Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm onto something. It's a hell of an analogy, but to understand it, yes, money is just an excuse for, just like for when a doctor um, will send you home with an excuse to your classroom that says you couldn't make it to the lesson today because you were authentically sick. Now, in this analogy, the classroom is reality and the truth, and then how we get the frequency of God within us by just keep aligning with the truth of truths here. And see, that's nothing that you make up. This is another thing. It's like this conversation, it needs to keep happening, and I'm here trying to keep it happening. What is the truth? I'm not asking you as somebody that doesn't know. I'm asking as somebody that wants you to start the conversation within yourself. Good question. What is it? I'm sitting here, I'm feeling like fucking Krishnamurti. Am I actually going to get fucking gray asking all these people here that don't have a decent conversation if a child was to ask them? And a child doesn't need to ask them because they already know the truth, and they already know the truth until they start believing what they're told. See, the truth is such that it's beyond all words and symbols. If the words and symbols says, now I am the truth, like a lot of Christians say that the word, everything was built on a word. We know what you're trying to say. You're trying to get into the science of how things are vibrating into existence here. It's called sound. What's sound makes it here. Otherwise, it would just collapse. It's not going to work. Sound means sturdy. It has a big difference. Sound is not. See, sound is what you're hearing in silence. Listen. Creation of creation is here already without a single fucking word or symbol. When that word says that I am the truth and the one that created, and when the symbol says I am the truth and I am what has created, now that's Antichrist. Says that it's the moon, but really it's just pointing at the moon. The moon is the truth over there, beyond all words and symbols. Now, the conversation needs to be opened up. What is the truth? There's the truth about people. There's the truth about truth. God, kids love it, actually. They're like, you mean I am interacting with something here beyond what these fucking people are always saying no to me about? It's like, whatever, What? They're head tripping. God, poor kids. So tedious for them. And do you think any of them has made a mistake, an escape with their sovereign lives, like who they really are to be? Is people that knock that back and say, "Nah, excuse me, but there's most likely something that you have gotten wrong here," and certainly to ride the coattails of biological intelligence was one of them. You, my friend, you can't take credit for what your kidneys are up to, your reproductive organs, how that all just happens on its own. You have to get an idea of your own. You do. That's how complicating it is to be a human being. You're like, you mean I have an animal side, but then now I have this thing that can have ideas, and those ideas talk about the truth um, about people versus the truth about ideas. The greatest ones, the greatest ideas, last far longer than the greatest people that you could ever imagine. I mean, the greatest people are probably coming up with the greatest ideas, but still, you cannot find those great people. You will just find the great idea left. Having said that, don't think that you, yourself, or me, was not just some great idea that some beautiful being had way over there called the Creator, and it certainly wasn't your mom and dad. Your mom and dad have a Creator. Their children, which you call you because you have a mom and dad, you don't belong to them. They don't own you. God owns you. Yeah. So, anyway, I guess I'll put this on a Sunday. It's Sunday material. I guess nobody's interested in it until they have like a little glimmer of their life. They're like, what am I supposed to do here? Go to church. We made you this lost. Might as well just get fucking completely lost. Did you know you're lost? No? Well, good. The people that know they're lost and know that that's not the answer certainly are the least of our problems. Um, uh, we'll get to that conversation later. I'm trying to wrap this up. I hope it was useful to you. I was trying to explain how that narcissists don't have the capacity to understand much of anything. There isn't a rhyme or reason. If you really kind of dial in it, it's like, uh-oh. They're just playing with things like toys. And it includes the whole scene where you see like there's a house and then a family. They're playing with a toy there. They saw an image somewhere that put it together. There's a dollhouse and what is it? Family. Family. Did you know that there's something called friends that is way more potent than family? Good friends, they know they are love. You can arguably say, no, it's not argument. In India, they changed the word guru, which is just somebody who's accomplished as an enlightenment or love. They're just a regular human being. It's really hard to be that nowadays. A lot of them, over the years, you'll see they've assumed weird positions. Like there's some of them that just appear to be sitting in their diapers. And it's like, man, you don't get out of your diapers from the whole time? No, that's in fact how they're treating us, though. There's a system there. I'm trying to tell you there's something different of our lives, and I'm going to stay in diapers, so fuck it. If you can't hear me, it's not my fault. Eating grapes. Everybody's supporting them. See, Osho, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, he was different, right? He bought 75 Rolls Royces, and he always wore fucking the flashiest $5,000 glass and Rolex watch and hat and chair, and he looked like a spaceman, and he's like, and he said the same things that everybody else really good friends would say. He says, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here as an example of a feeling that you need to get into on your own. If it's resonating with you, it's because you're waking up. this language that I'm using, if you look at it, it's brilliant. Resonation. Oh God, I wish I could teach you what it is physically. I don't have an acoustic guitar to just prove to you what I'm saying about resonation. It's like your heart has strings connected to a plasmatic field, which is connected to everything. Everything, even the shit that you don't know that's there called the universe out there. I mean, you are one with it. If you have a human heart right now, you have no choice. You're in the chaos now. So with meditation, you can bring in all of that material. Really, the answers. Really, it's just boring. It's already here, dead, dried, fact. Do not hang on to it. But if you want to know, meditation can help you. Because you're already here. So if you quiet your mind, get less and less somebody who thinks they have to know something, and just there's something you need to know, and it will come in. And your whole life is this process of surrendering to this. And by the time you're 50 or so, if you're lucky, you can say something about it. Say, no, this is the way it is, though. And right now, you're in your prime of talking about what? What is your living example? See, I'm interested in human relationships to the point where it's not even apparent, but really it's like, of course, we're interested in profusely in human relationships, the quality that we're conducting. That's why every once in a while I talk about narcissist and enlightenment. We're talking about the non-human and the human. It's impossible to relate as a non-human being, a narcissist. No capacity, no rhyme or reason. They don't think that the truth exists. It's like, I guess so. It's like you have to take your time with people, right? You slow down and say, "Oh no, these people are handicapped," and then you have patience. The Aries part of you, the Aries part of the species, the people that are heroes, the ones that find the information, they come back and bring it and say, "No, this is it." They're not. They're being patient with you. When they're going out, being what they're being and really doing it. They're not being an ego, trying to fucking prove you wrong. And it's not a competition. No, if they're competing with anybody, they're competing with themselves. And that's when I'm talking about the Aries. That's the healthy part of you. You know what? It's the most highly misunderstood sign. Because if you knew a sun in Aries, they are okay, so they're not perfect. I'm talking about the part of the human organism or any organism that says, I'm watch. If you just take time and look and see, I'm going to grow my feathers. You don't control it. Pretty soon I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to feel a breeze, and then I'm going to start flying. And you don't judge that. You don't say, that fuck you. No, that's just the possibility. Now, if you knew astrology, you look at it and say, God, everybody's so uniquely different. They're uniquely different. Not everyone is going to be flying like that. But I didn't just say that they're having a worse experience than that. Maybe they are. Maybe not. It's just a metaphor. Babes, do you set yourself free and let yourself be yourself? And do you know that that's all you are here to do? There isn't anybody else here holding you back. And if you use somebody to do that, well, good for you. Sometimes we do that, right? You want your mommy to be you're trying to. The narcissist is trying to form the mother figure to be there again, to do a number of things, either to take care of them or to say, and finally, I can get away from you. You have ruined my life. Get out of here. And it's like, no, actually, you're mistaking me for somebody else. I'm actually loving you. And it's like, no, they don't know that yet. They need to get away from thinking that they are the other person. Like they just automatically think, no. I know this is kind of contradictory, but what I mean literally is that you have to be them. See, a narcissist, if you ever seen this, they do this in conversation. Pretty soon they'll take your lines. It's a phenomenon. And it's a form of gaslighting. It's like, wait a minute, okay, weird. It's fucking weird. See, you can mainly hear them through conversation. It doesn't. There's a lot of holes poked in it, right? And pretty soon you begin to realize these people aren't reality oriented, not at any time. And then um, the style of where they'll pop into your conversation. One of the worst scenarios is this. Um, you can say, you know what, I had the strangest day today. It was kind of weird. A golf tee came with a purple balloon on it, and it landed on top of a green cricket. And they'll say, you know what? Exactly. Today a golf tee came down in a purple balloon, and it landed on a green cricket. And anything else you want to? And it's like they suck the air out of any kind of real human ethics. You know what I mean? And they're like, like a lot of them, they'll take on your hobby. Like if you're a butterfly collector and you're just how to do things like that, and they want to, and they just think people. It's all about people. It's like, no, there's outer space. There are these floaty things called people, and they're like, and it's like, could you just, did you get your umbilical cord cut too? I mean, wow, man, here, let me put these on. There, doing good now. I know the way to do it.